Welcome back. My name is Vera. I'm Quality Assurance Support Manager. Today we're going to review HACCP standard operating procedure using time alone as a control. First, let's talk a little bit about HACCP. As you know, in our business, food safety is the most important aspect of the job. Many systems could be implemented to control food safety. We use HACCP. HACCP is a group of procedures and practices that prevent foodborne illness, ensuring that food is safe to eat. It does this by controlling risks and hazards throughout the flow of food. HACCP examines every step in the flow of food. Flow of food begins with receiving food, continues with storage, preparation, cooking, holding, and serving customers. But it doesn't stop there. In some cases, we also have cooling, storing leftovers, plus reheating and serving again as additional step in the flow. Controlling time and temperature of food is a critical practice in keeping food safe. To ensure proper time and temperature control, we have HACCP procedures for every step in the flow of food. We have written procedures for controlling time and temperature during preparation, procedures for cooking, holding hot and cold foods, and for how to reheat, cool, and store food properly. We also have using time alone as a public health control procedure, which we will review now. All this and much more HACCP can be found in our Toolbox HACCP folder. After reviewing using time alone as a control, we will be able to answer the following questions. Why to use time as a control? When to use time as a control? Which food could be served using time as a control? We review some of the proper methods for cooking and holding before using time alone as a control. And we will know when to take the temperature of the food, when and how is each food labeled. Why to use time as a control? The same as a time and temperature control, time alone as a control is used to prevent foodborne illness. Hot and cold holding temperatures are extremely effective ways to limit the growth of bacteria. It is done by ensuring that food are not held in the danger zone temperature for more than 4 hours before being cooked or served. In certain situations, food may be held without temperature control and still be safe. It is done by ensuring the food are served or discarded within 4 hours after it is removed from temperature control. When should we use time as a control? There are situations that it would be appropriate to use, for example, when there is no electricity or when working equipment is not available. An off-site catering event is another good example of when to use time as a control. But this is not our preferred method. It should be an exception rather than normal practice. First of all, it decreases waste, and it's also not recommended for use when serving in high-risk population. Which food could be served using time as a control? Any menu food could be served as long as SOP is followed. Now, let's review the proper methods to cook or cool food. Again, time and temperature requirements ensure food safety. It is important to follow time and temperature requirements for cooking and holding before we start time as a control. The minimum temperature requirements given in every recipe has some steps. We also can use smart temperature guides for temperature reference. Remember that the total time of food at room temperature, receiving, preparation, holding, must not exceed 4 hours. It applies for raw ingredients and also for cooked or ready-to-eat food. As you know, different batches of food should not be mixed together. If they are mixed, the time associated with the first batch should be a starting point to cook, serve, or discard all the food in the container. Foods may be held without temperature control under certain conditions. Cold food must be held at 41 or low before it is removed from refrigeration. Hot foods must be held at 135 or higher before they are removed from temperature control. As I mentioned before, additional information regarding time and temperature relationships for preparation, cooking, holding can be found in our HACCP SOPs. Please review these procedures. Now, we established that food must begin the 4-hour clock at a safe temperature. Take the temperature using Smart Temp serving time as a control before placing it on the salad bar or serving line to begin time as a control. Record time, temperature, and discard time on the sticker. Discard time must be 4 hours from the time food is removed from the safe temperature. Put the sticker on each container which is placed outside of temperature control units. Label shows that food is maintained with time as a control measure. Once time as a control has begun, food cannot be returned to temperature control and it must be discarded. The food must be discarded in the end of serving period or when the time limit has expired. Before discarding the product, take the temperature again using Smart Temp serving time as a control discard. It will record ending time for time as a control. Most likely at this point, temperature will be in the danger zone, but it is important to record discard time, showing that food is discarded within 4 hours. As you review these procedures and other HACCP SOPs, understand and practice them, you can be confident that food you serve will be safe. Let's keep everybody safe and healthy. Thank you.